Hello everybody. This video is about the complex legacy of Thanksgiving. But before I start on that, to those that decided not to go home for Thanksgiving, you hold the power. If you decided to not go home because of an unaccepting family or family and friends gathering, that would be spending the day to dead name you, cut you down, misgender you, disrespect your partner, or any of the many things that can happen. It's okay. It's okay that you chose to not associate with the people that do not respect you. It's perfectly fine. Don't let anybody hold that over your head. It's okay to choose you. It's okay to not allow people to put you in a position that can trigger the many emotions that can be felt with all of this. It is okay to choose you instead of choosing to just push through the day because it's something that is tradition or because you're trying to seek the love of the family and friends that just don't get it. It's okay to choose you. Don't don't feel bad if you chose not to go home. And to those people that did go home and have to deal with the hate, the misgendering, the disrespect, and all the other crap that goes along with it, then it's okay to reach out and seek help later to help you confront those emotions that you are feeling. Reaching out to a hotline, one of the many hotlines that is on the community page, or your own personal therapist, or an accepting friend, or having a movie night with a roommate, or anything to help you get through it, that's okay too. That's perfectly fine. But this video is about the legacy of Thanksgiving, and there is no pride in genocide. None at all. The celebration of Thanksgiving in the United States is awesome, or is often framed as a day of gratitude, family gatherings, and feasting. However, for many indigenous people, this holiday represents a painful legacy of colonization, violence, and genocide of their ancestors. Understanding the historical context and implications of Thanksgiving is essential for fostering a more accurate and respectful recognition of Indigenous peoples' experience. This video is aimed towards the Two Spirit community. It is part of a "we see you, we acknowledge you, and we respect you" movement. The myth of the first Thanksgiving. It is commonly taught that Thanksgiving often centers around a mythologized version of the first Thanksgiving in 1621, which depicts an amiable feast between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag people. This version neglects the complex relationships between European settlers and the indigenous tribes, glossing over the subsequent violence and oppression that would follow. The celebration misrepresents the reality of the time, where cooperation was overshadowed by conflict, land dispossession, and disease brought by colonizers that devastated indigenous populations. Following the arrival of European settlers, the indigenous populations in North America faced systemic violence that led to widespread genocide. Historical events such as the Pequot War and King Philip's War saw indigenous communities decimated, the land seized for colonial expansion. The doctrine of manifest destiny further legitimized the belief that it was the settlers' divine right to expand across the continent, regardless of the impact on the indigenous people. Thanksgiving contributes to the ongoing cultural erasure of indigenous peoples. The holiday promotes a narrative that overlooks the violence perpetrated against Native communities, reducing their rich histories and cultures to simplistic tales of cooperation and friendship. This erasure perpetuates harmful stereotypes and blinds society to the real consequences of colonization. For many indigenous people, Thanksgiving is not a day of celebration, but rather a day of mourning and reflection. Native American organizations such as the National Day of Mourning observe this day to honor the lives lost during colonization and to bring awareness to ongoing issues that indigenous communities face, including land rights, environmental degradation, and systemic inequality. To truly understand the implications of Thanksgiving, it is vital to revisit historical narratives. Educating oneself about the realities of colonization, including the treaties made and broken between indigenous nations and the U.S. government, allowing for a more comprehensive perspective. It is essential to recognize that indigenous histories are not isolated to the past, but continue to shape contemporary issues and identities. A critical aspect of acknowledging the legacy of Thanksgiving involves actively supporting indigenous rights and initiatives. This includes advocating for land reparations, recognizing tribal sovereignty, and promoting policies that advance the well being of Indigenous communities. Engaging with Indigenous voices and supporting Indigenous led organizations can contribute to a more equitable future. In the spirit of true acknowledgement, it is vital to honor Indigenous narratives and history. This can involve listening to Indigenous leaders, participating in cultural events, and amplifying Indigenous voice in discussions about colonization and its enduring impacts. Education about Indigenous perspectives can lead to greater empathy and understanding. Considering how we approach Thanksgiving can promote more inclusive practice. For those who wish to celebrate, acknowledging the history behind the holiday and taking time to reflect on the struggles faced by Indigenous peoples can help in fostering more respectful dialogues. Activities such as sharing Native American histories and supporting Indigenous artists and businesses can transform the holiday into a moment of genuine appreciation and solidarity. Thanksgiving, often portrayed as a day of celebration, carries with it a heavy burden of a legacy rooted in violence, dispossession, and cultural erasure. Many Indigenous people experience this day not as a holiday, but as a reminder of their ancestor struggles and the ongoing fight of recognition and rights. By critically examining the history of Thanksgiving and embracing Indigenous perspectives, society can move towards a more honest and inclusive narrative that honors the truths of the past. The phrase, "no pride in genocide," serves as a poignant reminder that celebration without acknowledgement of historical injustice is hollow. It urges individuals to reflect on how we collectively understand and commemorate our shared histories, advocating for a future that recognizes the dignity and rights of Indigenous people. In doing so, we can foster a more equitable society, one that respects and honors the diverse narratives that shape our collective identity. So tonight, you can set up a small altar, have some feathers, have some herbs, some incense, some candles. including pride candles for our Two-Spirit community. Light the candles, remember the ancestors, and think about how we got where we are today. There is no pride in genocide. Have a blessed day.